What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Touchdowns to Home Runs. I am so glad that you are here for this video. I'm your host, Noah, and today we are going to be reacting to the NFL Top 100 Player List. I watched the show last night of the Top 10 reveal. This is something I follow every single year for the NFL. I love this list and everything, and I'm pretty sure it's decided by the players. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure the players, coaches and execs and stuff like that vote on this, so it's actual people in the league voting on this, not just a fan vote or something that the NFL just pulls out of nowhere. So there's that credibility to it. I love the list, but this year some very questionable rankings for me in this one, so that's why I really wanted to make this video and just talk to you guys on my opinion on where these players rank. I'm gonna go through all 100 of them. I'm only gonna really talk about players that I actually want to talk about, notable just rankings that I think should be addressed or something like that. In just my opinion, I love football. I watch football all fall, college football, NFL football, but I'm still not no one's really an expert. No one is like, yep, this person, whatever this person says is what it should be. I just want to put in my 2 cents and share with you guys my 2 cents on how I would have maybe changed these rankings, and maybe if you guys have similar rankings or something like that, I'd love to hear what you guys think of the list down below in the comments. So definitely do not forget to leave a comment on what you think about these rankings. But now let's get into checking out the top 100 players of the NFL 2019 season. So I literally just said 2019 season when really they classify this as the 2020 season. So it doesn't really matter, not too big of a difference there. But let's get into it. Starting our list off at number 100, we got Lavonte David. Number 99, Darren Waller, great tight end. I loved watching him play this year. 98, Brandon Brooks. 97, Budda Baker. 96, Chris Carson. I really like how Chris Carson made the list, but he isn't that high. I'm not too high on Chris Carson, but I think he definitely deserves to be in the top 100, so I really like him being there. 95, Frank Clark. 94, Jason Kelce. 93, this one, I'm so glad he made this list. My favorite Chicago Bear. I know I got Khalil Mack on the jersey, but Allen Robinson, I feel so bad for him. Honestly, as a Bears fan, I do feel bad for Allen Robinson, just with the quarterback situation. Robinson is such a great player, such a great receiver, catches everything. I love watching him play, and he does not get the respect he deserves at all, and he cannot put up the stats that he can put up with our quarterback situation. I don't really want to get into that because our quarterback situation over at Soldier Field isn't that great right now, and that's a discussion for a different time. But Allen Robinson, I'm so happy that he finally gets some recognition and making this list. 92, Darius Slay. 91, Grady Jarrett. Now we're going to the 90 to 81. We got 90, Kyler Murray. Again, this is another spot that I really like. I'm kind of in between Kyler Murray because, I love his style of play and everything like that, but I still don't think he's at that really great quarterback level yet. So I really like this ranking. I think he deserves to be in the top 100 after last season, but again, I don't think he deserves to be very high up on that list. 89, Cooper Kupp. 88, Jalen Smith. 87, Josh Allen. 86, Marlon Humphrey, a guy I really like. I love watching Marlon Humphrey play. 85, Zach Ertz. 84, Cameron Hayward. 83, Eric Kendricks. 82, Ryan Ramczyk. 81, DK Metcalf for the Seahawks. I can't remember, is AJ Brown even on this list? Well, we'll see later, but if he's not on this list and DK is, that's something I'm going to be really mad about. I've already looked this through, but there's 100 players, and I can't just remember them all in each position in the time I had here. 80, Miles Garrett. I'm guessing that this has something to do with the whole hitting Mason Rudolph with the helmet thing. I'm guessing that dropped his stock a bit and not being able to play at the end of the season. But Miles Garrett is still an amazing player and still deserves to be in this list. 79, Calais Campbell. 78, Tyron Smith. 77, Keenan Allen. 76, Marshawn Lattimore. 75, Earl Thomas. 74, Ronnie Stanley. 73, Fletcher Cox. 72, Josh Jacobs. Thank you for putting Josh Jacobs over Kyler Murray, by the way. It won't make up for the Offensive Rookie of the Year, but it's nice to see that Jacobs in some form is getting the respect he deserves. At 71, Jarrell Casey. Now going from 70 to 61, we got 70 Fred Warner, 69 Larry Fitzgerald. It's great to see him still on this list. I love that. 68 Ryan Tannehill, a guy who had a very, very good year, comeback year for the Tennessee Titans. Great to see him back. I was a big fan of his when he was on the Dolphins, and it's great to see him back in football. 67 Demario Davis, 66 Laramie Tunsil, 65 Tyler Lockett, 64 Harrison Smith, 63 Preston Smith, 62 David Bakhtiari. I'm a huge Bears fan, but I respect Bakhtiari a lot. Great offensive lineman. 61 Jarvis Landry. Now going from 60 to 51. 60 Logan Ryan, 59 Odell Beckham, 58 Kirk Cousins, 57 Devontae Adams. Again, I'm a Bears fan, but Devontae Adams 57, like, in my opinion, he's an at least top 6 receiver, and he should be bumped up a bit. Again, that's extremely hard for me to say as a Bears fan, because I'm not a big Devontae Adams guy at all, but he deserves to be higher than that. 56 DeForest Buckner, 55 Zach Martin, 54 Stephon Diggs, 53 Marcus Peters, 52 Chris Jones, 51 Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was a guy that really shocked me in this list. Being at 51, like, he hasn't had a huge year recently. I know he's still an amazing player, and I can't wait to watch him on Atlanta. But being at 51, it's not really that I'm against it. I was just kind of surprised by him being at 51. And then going from 50 to 41, we got Darius Leonard at 50. 49, Amari Cooper. 48, Zadarius Smith. 47, Trey White. Love Trey White. Trey White Goalie Academy. 46, Dak Prescott. I'm not a big Dak guy at all. I'm not a big Dak Prescott fan at all. 46, in my opinion, is a bit high for this list, especially that the Cowboys haven't been able to do any. They didn't even make the playoffs last year. They lose to the Eagles in the division race. I'm not a big fan of him being at 46. 45, J.J. Watt. It's questionable. 44, Mark Ingram. 43, Jimmy Garoppolo. 42, Alvin Kamara. And 41, we got my favorite player, Jadeveon Clowney. No team right now. He's still out in free agency, but it's nice to see him make a move up from last season. I think he was somewhere in the 60s last year, but it's great to see him move up after a good season with the Seahawks. He might not have had the sacks, but he had the forced fumbles. I think he had a touchdown for these Seahawks, and 2. He's just a game wrecker. Love to see Jadeveon Clowney that high up in the list this year. Now we're going 40 to 31. 40, Hunter, defensive end from Minnesota. 39, Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger for the Chiefs. Love that. 38, Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay. 37, Jalen Ramsey. I would bump Jalen Ramsey up just a bit. I love him at cornerback. I'd bump him up a bit. 36, Nick Chubb. I love this spot for him. I think that he's a really good running back, and I love that he was higher than I expected him to be in this list here. 35, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Bump this guy way, 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 way up. Minkah Fitzpatrick is probably the best safety in this league. And one guy that's not on this list, makes no sense to me, safety, Eddie Jackson. One of the best safeties in all football did not make this list. I know I'm a Bears fan, so I might be biased, but I'm telling you, Eddie Jackson is one of the best safeties in the NFL and deserves to be on this list. 34, Joey Bosa. 33, Aaron Jones. 32, Shaq Barrett. 31, Saquon Barkley. Now we're going 30 to 21. 30, we got Mike Evans. 29, Quentin Nelson. 28, Richard Sherman. 27, Jamal Adams, the new Seahawks edition. 26, Von Miller. 25, TJ Watt. So TJ passes JJ on this list. TJ had a great season last season, so he deserves every bit of that spot. 24, Zeke Elliott. 23, Cam Jordan. 22, Tyreek Hill. 21, Dalvin Cook. Now the top 20, so this is where it gets really interesting. 20, you got Deshaun Watson, great quarterback. I'm a huge South Carolina fan, and it's really hard for me to talk about a Clemson quarterback, any Clemson quarterback that way, but Deshaun Watson is deserving of that spot, and maybe even a bit higher than that. 19, got Khalil Mack. He did have a down year, considering what he did the first year for the Bears, and then this year wasn't as great, but I don't blame that on him. I blame it all on our offense, because that defense was just constantly being put back out on the field, and there's just no energy coming from that offensive side that the defense is like, why are we even like trying and stuff? Like, we're just going to go out there, make a stop, and then the offense is going to go 3-0, and then we're just going to keep having to be put through this. 18, Travis Kelce. In my opinion, I'd take Kelce over Kittle. Kittle's still a great player, but I'd definitely love to see Travis Kelce bumped up a bit in this list. 17, Nick Bosa. I think he's the highest rookie by far on this list. Beats out his brother Joey Bosa in his first year, but I love Nick Bosa. Great player. Love to see him this high in the list, especially as a rookie. Great to see him jump that high up. 16, Aaron Rodgers. 15, Chandler Jones. 14, Tom Brady. This is one that gets a lot of people going because Tom Brady is still Tom Brady. He still has 6 rings and everything like that. If we're looking at this as a season standpoint, the Patriots were still a very, very, very good team last year. I know they lost to the Titans, but Tom Brady's Tom Brady. I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, and I'm sure you're not watching this unless you're a Patriots fan or a Buccaneers fan now. But he's still Tom Brady, and you still have to respect the guy. Like, he's the greatest football player of all time. No one's ever won 6 rings before. The Steelers are the only other franchise other than the Patriots to win 6 rings. So you got to respect Tom Brady, and you have to give him that spot. 13, Bobby Wagner. 12, Drew Brees. Now, this is the one that gets me the most mad. 11, Julio Jones. I will fight with you. I will argue that Julio is the best wide receiver in the NFL. I feel very, very, very strongly about that. I know the stats, if you have the same quarterback, if you have Julio and DeAndre and Michael Thomas on the team, Julio's my go-to guy every time. I love DeAndre. I will respect if you put DeAndre over Julio, but putting MT over Julio for me is very, 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 very difficult for me to swallow. I'm not a Falcons fan. I'm not a Saints fan. Like, this has nothing to do with my favorite team or whatever. Julio is such a quality, he's such a stellar player at that wide receiver position, and he just plays it the right way. He's just so good at catching the ball. He's so good. One of my favorite plays ever by him is where he, ball's thrown way over his head. I forget who this was against, but he just goes out and absolutely, he just knocks the ball out of the defender's hands. That's something that you don't get from every wide receiver. When you know that that defender is going to catch that ball, he turned into a DB there and knocked that ball away. Julio's just an all-around great football player, and that's why I want to see him way up on this list. Number 3 wide receiver for Julio Jones. That hurts me, and I bet it hurts him. He's a great player, and I'd love to see him way higher in this list. Number 10, Derrick Henry obviously had a great season last year, so he deserves to be in that top 10. He's a great running back. I always said, even before last season, the last couple of years I've said, if there's one player that I would never want to try to tackle in the NFL, it's Derrick Henry, and I stand by that statement today. Number 9, I got my guy from South Carolina. We got Stefan Gilmore. Great cornerback, best cornerback in the league. Love to see him in the top 10. Just got a 99 in Madden and won the Defensive Player of the Year, so he deserves every bit of that spot. 8, DeAndre Hopkins. I said it. I'll respect it if you put DeAndre over Julio. DeAndre is an amazing, amazing, amazing wide receiver. Absolute steal for the Cardinals that they got him over there. So he definitely deserves to be in the top 10. 7, George Kittle. I said I would pick Kelce over Kittle, but that's just my opinion. Like, you guys all have your opinion, but I still think that George Kittle's the top 10 player in the NFL, and just the energy and everything that he's brought to the tight end position. Like, he started that whole National Tight Ends Day. Absolutely love that, and George Kittle is a great player for the San Francisco 49ers to have. Another one that made me really mad is my guy Christian McCaffrey at 6. Bump him up. You already snubbed him of the Offensive Player of the Year, and they put Michael Thomas ahead of him. That really hurt for me as a Panthers fan. I'm a Bears and Panthers fan, and I'm a huge Christian McCaffrey fan. I think he deserves to be top 5, at least top 5. McCaffrey's an amazing player, especially for what he had on the Panthers last season. 5, Michael Thomas. I don't really want to talk about that too much. 4, this one. This is the big one that I think everyone can agree on was a head turner, or whatever you call it, head scratcher. Patrick Mahomes at number 4. Mahomes is my number 1 guy. If I were to make this list, I'd put Mahomes number 1. Just the things he's able to do. He won the Super Bowl this year. He won the MVP last year. The things that Mahomes has been able to do in his first 2 seasons. If you ask me, you can take any player in the NFL right now to start a franchise. Who are you taking? I bet 90% of people would say Patrick Mahomes. So to put him at not even number 1, you're not even putting him number 1. You're not even putting him top 3. You're putting him at 4. I think that has to hurt Mahomes. And that's just going to fire him. His new contract. Now he's going to have something to play for to bump his NFL top 100 player ranking next season if the money hasn't already done that enough. 3, Aaron Donald. I'm not a big Aaron Donald fan, but I think that he should be number 2 on this list. Absolutely amazing player and deserves to be higher on this list. Number 1 player last year. And then the top 2, Russell Wilson at 2. That's a bit high for him. I'll give him top 5, but 2 for Russell Wilson. He's an amazing player, but when you have him over Mahomes and what Mahomes has been able to accomplish and everything like that, that's really tough. And then Lamar Jackson, number 1. I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan. I'm happy that he got number 1. Again, I still would have put Mahomes over him, but I'm happy he got number 1. In the regular season, by far, he's the number 1 player. But if you add in the playoffs in there and everything and the success that they were able to achieve this season, I think that Mahomes still should have been there, but I'm very happy that Lamar got it, and he deserves it every little bit. Amazing player. Can't wait to see him next season. Lots of great football to be played next season and see how these players actually do line up and how this list looks for next season. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. Definitely go like the video, comment what you think on this list, and definitely subscribe if you love football, because we love football on this channel, and we promise you we will not let you down and put out some good football content. So thank you for watching, and come back next time.